And we're live.
Hi guys.
Hello, and welcome to the final live stream for this semester.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Diana. And today we're going to talk about motivation. But first, we're close to graduating. What is it, like 10 days away?
Yep. Well, next Sunday we will be walking that stage. I think we're graduating at the same time.
Yeah.
Same ceremony.
4
o'clock.
p.m.?
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
Yes. So
I'm so
that
ready
would
to
be nice.
graduate.
I'm ready for it to be here because like a couple months ago I was like, oh no, I have so much to do. It's gonna be so hard to go, I guess, to the next stage of life.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, can graduation just hurry up and be here? Like yesterday, basically.
Like, I'm not excited about the in-between because there's, like, finals, a bunch of papers due. I just want to blink and to be, walking the stage.
Yeah.
I need it to be over.
Yeah, pretty much. I just need to get to the Alamo Dome, now, basically.
But since we are both graduating, I thought maybe we could take a little bit of a couple of minutes right now in the beginning of this episode to kind of just talk about lessons we've learned throughout the years. I think we did this with AJ when she graduated last semester. So I think it's a great little way to wrap up the, 3.5 years that we've both been here.
It's been a good run.
So if you could look back and Back to the Future to your freshman, brand new, straight out of college or high school self, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself that it's going to be okay, and that as scared I am, as anxious as I am, as confused as I am, it's going to be okay, and I'm gonna figure it out, and I don't need to worry as much, and I just need to work hard, and because I will find what I really love, and I will be doing it. So that's what I would tell myself.
Nice.
How about you?
I definitely would say kind of like a video game, be open to side quests.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I came in and I was like, okay, this is my plan, this is my mission. I'm gonna graduate in 2 years and that's it. And so then it was kind of
2 years.
Yeah, I had already taken so many classes in high school, so I had 2 years I should have graduated. And then I was like, oh wait, let me try being a peer mentor. Oh wait, let me try this other degree. Let me try this minor. And so through all of those, I actually am in a place now that I honestly don't think I would have ever guessed I'd be in 3 years ago.
Right.
So I feel like because of all the experiences that I was open to doing, I got to this point. And there were times in, the 3.5 years where I was like, should I be doing this? Should I, not be focusing as much on, the degree, but also, all the other stuff? Or should I just focus on the degree and get out? And I think that it really helped to do all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
Because it really shaped me as a person, too.
Yeah.
And I would have never met you.
Exactly. This whole thing would have never even started. So.
Yeah. But yeah. Any other stuff?
I mean, I think I'm just proud of how much I've grown while being in college. I don't think freshman me would recognize the me that's sitting right here.
Definitely.
So I think that's really cool. And in terms of the center here, what we have with the mentors and everything, it's been so awesome to watch it grow, see new mentors and mentees come and go. So many of my mentees have graduated, and it's really cool to see that and see how you've helped so many people, and how we as first gen students and as transfer students have come together and done a lot of cool stuff in just the 2.5 years that I've been here as a mentor. So
yeah, definitely. If I had told freshman me that I'd be standing in front of a camera talking on a live stream, freshman would be like, nope.
No way. Yeah, exactly. I think it's just a lot of confidence boosts right now, and I don't know, I feel really good about it. I'm excited.
And I think I would have definitely told freshman me not to care so much about the grades, the letters and stuff, because GPA and all that stuff does matter, but it's also all the experiences you bring to the table. And it's okay, you can get an A but learn nothing, or you can actually learn the material and then I ended up with a B or something like that.
Right.
And so yeah, like if you learn the material, you're probably not gonna get a B. But it's kind of like sitting back. There were some classes where I got A's in, and honestly, I couldn't tell you what I learned.
Can't remember a single thing from them.
Because it's like that whole mentality of like, okay, learn for the test, memory dump. Learn for the test, memory dump type of thing. And so, and it was because I was so focused on learning and getting the grade, and not learning to learn type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that was really important for me to learn. And then also, there's so much anxiety around just the grades that once you learn that, and it's a process, but once you learn that it's not all about the grades, it gets a little bit more like easier.
Yeah, it's a lot
to go
more
through life.
But we just want to say from us to all of you guys, if you're graduating, congratulations and good luck on the next stage in life. And even if you're not graduating, good luck on these finals, because it is coming up. The last day of classes is this Wednesday, right? Yeah, the 5th. So after that we have study days.
And then a week of finals.
And finals are the whole week. And then that Sunday we have graduation. So it's coming up very fast. And, it's been great being able to do this live stream with you and with everybody. So thank you all for watching. And,
And this morning I checked, we have about 124 subscribers, and honestly, I've been here since the beginning, and it warms my heart to know that we started something from the ground up, and we're here where we are now, and it's really all thanks to the peer mentors, all the mentors behind the scenes, the mentees that watch this and have promoted it to their friends, and then all of the supervisors and staff here at and faculty here at UTSA that help support us and do what we do. So huge thank you to all of y'all for helping us make this possibility. Of course, just because we're leaving does not mean that the live stream's going to end. We have wonderful peer mentors who are going to take over after us, and hopefully for years to come.
Yeah.
So we're really excited.
This grow into something like much bigger than just like the live stream, So yeah.
So thank you again so much for tuning in and watching and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Before I start crying.
Right. Let's not get too emotional.
We're going to talk about staying motivated, though, because, of course, coming to school every day gets a little tedious. There's going to be all these different lulls, low points in your life, and that motivation is what's going to keep you going and moving forward and getting that degree type of thing.
Yeah.
So, we'll start off with, what is motivation?
So, motivation.
What is it to you?
To me, let me try and, explain it, I guess, myself. To me, motivation is, wanting to do something or wanting to get better, wanting to go somewhere, and for a reason that, benefits you, emotionally or, physically or something. It's a goal. I feel like motivation is a goal, kind of.
Yeah.
Or being goal-oriented, something like that.
Yeah, this morning I was, in preparation of this live stream, I was reading an article, and they quote Stephen Pressfield, who wrote the book, The War of Art, which I always didn't know that was a book. I thought it was part of war.
That was a book.
But I guess it basically he talks about motivation and getting to the core of motivation. And paraphrasing him, it states that at some point the pain of not doing it becomes much greater than the pain of doing it. And I think that sums it up pretty good. The pain of just sitting there and being in this constant rut tends to outweigh itself, and then just wanting to get it over with and get it done tends to motivate you. I know for me, it's at that last minute before the deadline that I'm like, oh my god, I need to do this. And that's my motivation.
That's the key motivation.
But motivation is really important because there's some times when you're not going to have those hard deadlines. There's going to be things that you want to do on your own. And so there isn't really deadlines. So it's more of you need to motivate yourself. Kind of like, I know you have a blog where you do daily writings and stuff. Wonderful blog. But you don't have an obligation to write something every day or every week. That's kind of self-motivated, right?
Yeah. definitely when you sit down and like have to like write something, it's easy. And like I've done it many times before when I've had multiple blogs, and like I'll start them and I'll write for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months, and then eventually I'll just stop because I'm not motivated to keep on going. And I think the difference in this right now is that I've put not just like a lot of time into creating it, but a lot of money into creating it, and like I also see it as part of my actual like career now. So I think it's more like that motivation has changed a little bit, so I see it more now when I sit down to write. So I think that's kind of a part of it, like staying motivated. And I think it's really important to stay motivated, especially if you're like us and you're graduating, because everyone might be talking about like grad school, or like going to work, but like you could very possibly, even if you do apply for grad school, you will have like a semester of waiting, and like you want to be motivated to do something, so you're not just sitting around waiting for the next thing, or the next like deadline or something like that. Like
and like moving your career forward, if you don't choose to go to grad school but you choose to go find a job, you have to be self-motivated to go out there and seek those opportunities, to go out there to those job interviews, career fairs and whatnot. And people are going to say, well, you have to pay bills, so that's your motivation. But it's like, paying bills is one thing, but finding your career and finding your passion is another thing. You can pay the bills in like a 9-to-5 that you hate, or you can pay the bills in something that you love. But again, it's that difference in motivation and like pushing yourself and drive. And sometimes you will have those jobs where you hate what you do, but always think about like, oh, this is helping me now to get to this end goal and stuff like that. And so when you said like it's a goal that you're like setting out, it's like a perfect way to explain it.
Yeah.
Because motivation is to achieving your goals.
Yeah. And maybe it's not like a specific goal, like I'm going to make this much money and during this amount of time, or I'm going to do this in this amount, or anything like that. It's just like finding something that drives you to do more. Like it's not necessarily like a distinct goal, but it's more of just like a area that you want to be in eventually.
Yep. So I guess now the question that's burning on everyone's mind, now that we know what motivation is, how do you motivate yourself?
That's a tough one, I guess. There's a lot of different ways that I motivate myself personally. I think the biggest thing I do when I'm trying to motivate myself is like writing it down. And I think we've talked about this in other streams about like goal setting and things like that. It's so much easier to like see your goal when you write it down, or like make like a vision board or something like that, like something that makes it more concrete. Because you can say you want to do something, like I could say I want to write a new story every day for a whole month, but if you don't like have any accountability, like you can just not do that. You could just stop after like a week or even a day. So like writing it down, or even just not necessarily telling everybody, like you don't want to be like,
hey guys,
this is my new goal,
welcome to my YouTube channel.
Right, this is like what I'm gonna do now. But like telling maybe your close friends, like, hey, this is what I want to do, if you might, like, could you like kind of ask me about it, or like kind of try and hold yourself accountable and have other people sort of hold you accountable, because that's what your close friends are kind of for, is like holding each other accountable, motivating each other, and like keeping each other on the right track, because in the end you all want the same thing, or similar things. So I think that's a couple ways to stay motivated. I
definitely would agree on the like close friends thing. I know that when, like, for example, a while back I started a diet, and I've started diets all the time and I quit super quickly.
Yeah.
But I noticed that I'm doing this diet with my boyfriend, and working together and keeping each other accountable has motivated us to actually stick with it.
Right.
And so find somebody to do that task with. Therefore, they're going to keep you accountable. I know Alexa's constantly on every Monday. She's like, hey, what's the script for this MentorMonday live stream? I'm like, oh gosh, we have a MentorMonday live stream.
Like, hey, what are we going to do for this? Yeah.
Or our little videos that we started. Every week it's, hey Dana, did you write the script? Or hey Dana, do you want me to start the script? Or when are we going to record videos? And it's like that accountability. that we keep each other in check and stuff like that. And not to say that you can't motivate yourself, but for me at least, I've found in the things that have a little bit more of those soft deadlines, it's easier to keep yourself accountable when you have people around you that are like, hey, let's get to it, let's do it. Like,
and make sure you're doing the same for your friends.
Yes.
Because if you're just like, oh, you know, hold me accountable, do this, do that, but you never do the same for them, they're not going to be like on your side or anything. They're going to be like,
why should I?
Right, like, why am I helping you but you're not helping me? Like, it should be a
back and forth, give and take.
Back and forth, kind of thing. I think that's the biggest one. And it's like, again, you don't want to tell everyone, especially if your goal is kind of like more like transformation or like you know, changing something about yourself, because sometimes people like don't want to see that, or they don't really care, or they just like kind of like try and push you one way or the other. I think if you tell like your closer friends, even like just your significant other or something like that, you know, keep it close, but don't be afraid to tell like those close people.
Yeah, and like always, because what was it, like I told my sister I wanted to do this act. She was like, why? You look great. I mean, look at me. And I'm like, okay, well, we all have our own different kind of, you know, images and stuff. And so if someone's confiding in you to like, hey, I want to do this goal, I want to like motivate myself for this, don't be like, why? You shouldn't.
Right. Like why are you doing that? Or like,
but then also as the person who wants to be motivated, kind of explain that the importance of this goal to the other person. Make it a little bit more personable. Not like, oh, Alexis, I want to start a blog just cause. Because at that point, Alexis can be like, okay, sure, you do.
Yeah.
But if I tell her, I'm like, oh, well, I really find a passion in writing, and I blah, 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 and I feel like it's going to help me, blah, blah, blah. Alexis can be like, oh, you know what? That's a good idea. Okay, I'll help you out, you know?
Yeah.
Make them feel stuff.
Yeah. Let them know that you're serious.
Yeah.
Because it's, like I said, it's easy to say something. It's hard to do, like, actually do it. So
yeah.
Keep that in mind.
And then you can set little reminders. I know for myself, a great way to keep myself motivated is I do little checkpoints throughout the week. So if I have like a paper due on Friday, I'm like, okay, write the first paragraph on Monday, write the second paragraph on Tuesday, and then like revisions on Thursday, stuff like that.
Right.
So I guess that's more like a task list.
Yeah.
But
or even just putting like sticky notes around. Like that's what I used to do a lot. It's just like the sticky notes like on my in my desk. I have like the walls like right in front of me, and I just have sticky notes like everywhere that say like something, a different kind of thing, either like a goal or like a task that I have to do or something. I keep it like where I have to look at it, or like on your computer.
Or another, it's super cheesy, but when I was in high school, I was taking classes, like summer classes at the community college, and I made the mistake to take 12 hours in 5 weeks, which if you've ever done like a 5-week course, one class alone in a 5-week course, they're taking 16 weeks and compacting it into 5 weeks, so they're usually like 2-3 hour classes, and I took 4 of these classes, right? And it was the most difficult semester of my life.
Yeah.
But on my phone, I had a little, and this is a little bit cheesy and stuff like that, but I had a little inspirational quote that says, "Pressure makes diamonds," or like coal turns to diamonds under pressure, stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? After this semester, I'm gonna be a diamond. And honestly, that is honestly how I got through that semester.
That's a good, whatever works.
It's super cheesy, but seeing that every day reminded me that, like, you know, sometimes you have to go through these tough situations to come out a little bit more resilient, a little bit shinier. And so, do cheesy stuff. I don't know.
And, you know, keep in mind that some people can take more pressure than others. Like, don't feel bad if like if you're having trouble juggling like one thing, but then somebody else is like, oh well, I have like these 3 things. Yeah, like I'm doing all of this, and it's like everyone's, you know, battle is their own. So, you know, keep that in mind and focus on yourself. Don't focus on like what other people are doing. Even if you are juggling more things than them, like, you know, you never know anybody's like story. So think about that as well.
I had a friend who was like, how are you taking 16 classes? I'm barely, like, surviving in 3 classes. Or not 16 hours.
16 classes.
16 hours. I'm barely surviving in, like, my 8 hours. And I was like, okay, girl, but you also have a kid. Like, there's a huge difference. And so it's easy to, like, kind of compare yourself to other people and be like, well, how's Alexis doing it and I can't do it? And it's like, well, you're forgetting all the other things that are in your life that are, like, affecting it. So definitely, yes, sometimes you can find motivation in, like, you know, I want to be better than this person, and, like, competition is a great motivator. But also take a step back and be like, hold on, wait a minute. Is this a fair comparison? Because, like, maybe Alexis isn't doing work and extracurriculars. Maybe all she's doing is school. And I'm over here having, like, a family and extracurriculars and work, a full-time job and stuff like that. So, like, maybe I have more on my plate, and I shouldn't be comparing myself necessarily to Alexis, but, like, you know, someone else who has about the same amount on their plate. Yeah,
for sure. And, you know, I think we should also talk about, like, what happens when your motivation kind of falls. Like, say your motivation is school-oriented, like we've been talking about school a lot, and, like, that class that you worked hard on or that, you know, you were struggling with, like, you failed it or something. Like, you know, or maybe you were trying to get a job and you had your resume, like, all, like, decked out, you know, you did everything right, but you still didn't get the job, or, you know, any kind of thing. Those things can, like, be detrimental to your motivation if you let it. But I really think that you have to kind of look at, like, the bigger picture, and, like, you know, the world is not going to end if you fail, like, a class, or if you don't get, like, an A++, or, you know, something like that. So always think about, like, what else you have going for you. Like, think of the positives. I know it's hard to think of them, like, in kind of situations like that, but, you know, and maybe your motivations have to change before they can work. Like, maybe you have to say, okay, maybe I'm not going to get this, like, 4.5 GPA, but I'm possible. I don't know, but you know, but I'm still gonna, you know, get this degree. I'm still gonna be, like, you know, Dean's List or something like that. Like, you know, keep it in mind. Like, so what do you do, like, if your motivation kind of, like, tanks? Like,
so I definitely, like, have experienced that. I tried 2 times to apply to an internship I had 2 summers ago. But I applied to it, like, 3 times before I actually got it. And each time when I didn't get it, it was just kind of a little shot to my little motivation. And honestly, I would not have applied that 3rd time if it wasn't for my dad. So the thing is, like, it's tough getting those letters of, like, hey, you were a wonderful candidate, but we decided to go with someone else. It sucks. It is, like, the worst feeling in the world, especially...
Unfortunately, you have,
especially if it's something that you really wanted. So, I personally have, like, since I was little, I wanted to work at NASA. I wanted to be an astronaut. It was my dream. I was going to be the first woman on Mars. But so when I entered college, I was like, you know what? I'm going to apply for an internship, and I'm going to be, like, an astronaut woman. And so I applied, and and every year it was, sorry, we're so sorry, blah, 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 we're so sorry, you haven't been selected. And so the 3rd year, I was like, you know what, why am I even doing this? Like, I'm just going to get hurt again. And honestly, like Alexa said, I kind of confided in my dad and told him, like, this was my dream. Mostly because he had worked in NASA, so I was like, oh, I want to follow in your footsteps. And so when I had told him, I was like, you know what, Dad, I'm not going to apply this semester. I give up, whatever. I don't care anymore. He was like, no, I think you should apply again. I think, you know, you should apply. Like, come on, don't give up that easily.
Apply.
And so definitely my motivation came from an outside source at that point, because everything inside me was kind of just dead. And again, it worked because they saw that I had persistence. They saw that I applied 3 times, and they're like, man, this girl will not go away unless you give her something.
Like, just give it to her.
And so companies keep a record of all of those tries and attempts. Another thing, a friend of mine failed an entire semester. He was taking 4 classes, failed all of them. And in an interview, they saw it on his record that he failed all 4 classes that semester. And again, just because you fail a semester doesn't mean you're not going to get the job. And you'll see at the end of this story. But basically they're like, whoa, you failed a semester? Like, what happened? And he goes, you know, man, someone stole my laptop and, like, ransacked my apartment, and I gave up. And he was very honest with them, and he said, but you know, I picked myself up from there, and I raised my GPA. I'm at a 3.3 now, blah, blah, blah. And he actually got the job in the end, because he was, like, honest with them, because they saw, you know, just because something bad happened, like, yeah, he gave up at first, but then he raised himself up and got, like, straight A's the rest of his years and stuff like that. So, I guess keeping that in mind, that future, like, just because you fail this one class or you fail this semester doesn't mean that it's over.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
It's never over unless you choose for it to be over. Unless you know, stop it. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, stopping. Like, you know, if you want to work for a semester and then come back, or you want to do something, like, the path, and I think you talked about it a little bit earlier when we were talking about, like, graduating, like, the path does not have to be, like,
linear.
Yeah, you don't have to get from A to B in the shortest amount of time. You can kind of, like, turn off, go to, like, a different, do side quests, and, like, you know, don't be so focused on the end that you don't enjoy
the middle
getting there. Yeah, exactly. Because once you're there, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you lose a lot of chances to enjoy your life if you're just focused on, like, one thing. And, you know, maybe once you stop focusing on that one thing, you realize that you like something else a lot more, or that you're even better at this thing that you sort of enjoy.
And that's really funny that you bring up, because when I entered college, it was electrical engineering was my major. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get through this. And my end goal was biomedical. I was going to do, like, neural, stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to get my degree 2 years. I'm going to get my master's 2 years. I'm going to get my PhD. I'm going to be so smart, whatever. So then, you know, talking about that linearity, in the middle, I kind of, like, I took a programming class, and I was like, wait a minute. Programming is really cool. So then that's when I kind of started my computer engineering double major. And so honestly, like Alexis said, if I didn't take that time to, like, enjoy the side quests and the side missions and stuff like that, I wouldn't be in the position where I am now. Like, yes, I'm still going to, like, grad school, but I have a really great job lined up with a really great company that I would never have had I just been so focused on getting that degree and getting out. And so definitely, like we had mentioned earlier, like, talk to people that you trust, confide in others, because when you lose that motivation, you need people around you to be like, hey, this isn't the end game, this isn't over, like, you can still do it, like, there's still other options. And, like, sometimes you just gotta say goodbye to the people that are negative. Like, I mean, it's a tough thing, especially when they're really close to you, but if it's somebody who's gonna be like, yeah, you know, you failed that one class, it's over for you. You might as well go, you know, I don't know what to say, but you might as well just give up on everything. Then don't listen to those people. And yeah, like, everybody's journey is different. Just because, you know, it took us 3.5 years to finish doesn't mean that you have to finish in 3.5. The national average is, like, what, 6 years?
So I mean, if for us, like, if you look at it, like, I took, like, a whole semester of classes my senior year of high school.
Oh, me too.
So I was already, like, I already had credits.
Summer classes.
Yeah, exactly. Summer classes. So, like, our journey is not like we started with nothing and then we got to, like, 3 now.
And I took 19 hours every semester in summer class.
I worked, no, it's not like that. So, like, keep that in mind as well when you see people that, like, oh, why are they graduating earlier than I am? And, like, we're in the same whatever. Like, you don't even think about that. Think about your own, like, graduating, because it's so important to focus on yourself, not just, like, to, you know, mind your own business, but, like, to, like, be your best self, because if you're always focusing on what other people are, like, doing, it's going to, like, kind of mess with your own self-image. So
one of my best friends actually constantly fights with this, like, was fighting with this internal battle of, like, everyone who I graduated with in high school already graduated college, and I'm still here. And it was like, well, no, but you have to look at it. Those people graduated with 1 degree. You're graduating with 2. Like, those people did nothing but school. You also had a job. Like, all of those things add up. And trust me, employers are not going to go and sit there and, like, between you two go, well, this guy finished in 3 years and this guy finished in 5. They're going to look at, like, well, okay, he finished in 3 years, but he also has a second major, and he also has, like, a job, and, like, is multitasking, blah, blah, blah. Like, they look at so much more than just when did you graduate type of thing. I doubt anyone really cares.
And, like, I mean, for your resumes and stuff, you don't even put, like, when you graduate high school. You just put your college. So, like, most, like, jobs aren't even going to look at that. Your schools might look at that.
Yeah, and one of the most successful and, like, wonderful and, like, one of my role models, it took her, like, 10 years to graduate with her bachelor's. Because her journey was completely different from other people's. And that doesn't make her less of a candidate, less of a, you know, person. She's still this wonderful, like, role model in my life and stuff. So, like, looking at it and comparing yourself and be like, well, the mentors on Mentor Monday are graduating in 3 years and I'm going to go in 4 years. It's like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Everyone goes at their own pace.
Exactly. What else? Let's see. Motivation.
What's your favorite motivational quote?
I would have to say the
diamond one.
Or the nevertheless she persisted. That one, I've seen it a lot. That's why I like it.
That's a more recent one.
It's grown on me.
Yeah, I like it.
What's yours?
I don't know if I have a motivational quote.
I have a bunch of cheesy
Maybe
ones.
we should make our own motivational quote.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see.
Motivational Mondays.
Motivational Mondays. That's what we should have called it.
Right. I know that, like, on our Instagram, cheesy plug. On our Instagram, we do a lot of motivational Mondays, so follow us.
Lots of good quotes from our social media team, our crew. Gosh,
we're live on Twitter right now. If you want to go,
if you want to
see our live
tweet
tweet at
what
your
is it?
at
Best motivational
UTSA first F
at UTSA
FG.
Wait, it's UTSA underscore FGTS.
UTSA underscore FGTSC. That stands for First Gen Transfer Student Center.
Give us your best motivational quote.
Yeah, or in the comments below.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? What other good ones are?
I'm trying to think of, like, a good one. Like,
I know, right?
You know, just follow.
Just do it.
Follow your spirit. Just do it.
Just do it.
It's a good one. Follow your heart.
Paint with the colors.
You're almost there.
That one's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep. You'll never get there if you just sit down. These are making me soft right now. Everyone in the background is just like, what the heck? You could be the tortoise, but you're gonna still finish.
What is it? I'm trying to think of something like Roadrunner related, like
the Roadrunner never gets killed by the coyote because he just keeps going.
That's a long one.
Back.
What does the Roadrunner say? Was it like meep meep
meep meep? Yeah.
That's it. Meep meep.
Meep meep.
That's a good one.
When I first got my car, because I have a teeny tiny little car, right? And I'd be at stop signs and or stoplights, and I'd try to outrun other cars, and I'd be like, meep meep.
But yeah, so that's our attempt at making motivational
Monday.
You know,
you can quote us.
Yeah, definitely quote us on that. You know,
I actually want to see it.
Yeah,
you'll never make it.
We'll make sure. You'll never make it. I guess
you'll make it to the finish line if you sit down.
Note.
Oh my God, there's so many good quotes I know.
There are like good ones, but I can't think of a single one.
You know what? Let's look some up.
Yeah. Let's look up some good motivational quotes.
Let's see. Motivational quotes.
Let's rate some.
Yeah. Motivational.
What was the quote that Rocky said when he won the championship?
We're not quoting movies.
Yo, Adrian.
If I can change, if you can change, everybody can change.
Yeah.
Alright, this one's from Unknown. The past cannot be changed, the future is yet in your power.
Okay.
I like it. I guess.
Isn't that like, what is it? It's called the past because it's behind you.
The present's a gift or something like that.
The future is something.
And
then the present is a gift.
That's like
every day is a gift.
I like, now that I'm thinking about it, I like the one, it's like, give me strength to change the things I can change, give me patience to accept things I cannot, and give me knowledge to understand the difference between the two. I'm butchering it, but it's something like that.
Definitely not the quote. But
it's definitely not the quote, but that's like a really good one.
Do you ever see the poster, the one that says like shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars?
Oh, that's a good one.
I hated that one. I always hated it. I was like, no.
Even it's not astronomically correct.
I like the one where that says, don't tell me the sky's the limit when there's footprints on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that one was cute.
That's cute. That's sweet. Yeah. Oh, I know this one. Is that
you can do it.
Oh, I don't even know if
who's
that.
germ?
I don't know who that is because I'm pretty sure this is like from a
Good, better,
basketball
best.
player.
Never let it rest.
Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best.
We used to chant this in elementary school.
Really?
Good, better, best. Let it rest.
I feel like that's like a Tim Duncan quote or something. Isn't it?
Put Tim Duncan. It comes up.
You know what? I kind of want to look up what a Tim Duncan. No, wait, that's we need to stay on topic. Motivation.
It is.
Ooh, what's this one? Wait, go back. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Theodore Roosevelt. What?
Okay.
Guess who said this quote? Now we're entering them. Oh, I like that one. Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me.
That's a good one to end on. No one can do it for you. So
Yeah.
that's a good reason to be motivated because it's your life and your choice. You can make it how you want it.
And that's it for our motivation.
Yep, and I think we should kind of cut it at that.
Definitely tell us what are your motivational quotes. What are things that you do to keep motivated and get motivated. Also, we are having a little end of semester ceremony this Friday in the office, starting at 12.
Mm-hmm.
From 12 to 3, right?
Yes.
So definitely come out. We'll have food, I think, music.
Yeah, we'll have
It'll
a
be
couple
poppin'.
awards for all. Hear what she said. Yeah.
And then remember, last day of classes is this Wednesday.
Mm.
That means do not go to class Thursday or Friday.
No matter how much you want to.
Maybe you could go sit in the class and just sit there, but nobody else will be there. Okay. The campus will be open though, so if you want to study, feel free to come over here and study. And then starting Saturday is when finals start. There's specific classes that are having their finals on Saturday. I know Gen Chem, Saturday, 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You have
Make
your finals?
sure you know when your finals are.
Yes.
Because they're not the same as when your classes are. So keep that in mind.
I saw this one little text exchange, and there was someone who was like, "Hey man, how'd you do on that physics final?" And he's like, "Oh, we haven't taken it yet. It's tomorrow." And he goes, "No, it was this morning."
Yeah.
Hey man.
Hello?
So please know when your finals are.
Yes. And know when your stuff is due. Because, I know for me, I have a few papers due, so I don't have to actually go to class. But, only for a couple. But, so make sure, when it's due, when you have to turn it in, if it has to be hard copy, just, make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's.
And do not wait till the last minute. That's when, Blackboard always crashes. When you need to turn in that really important 30% of your grade paper at 11:59, it crashes.
Yeah.
So don't wait till
Ouch.
then.
That one hurt.
What else? Graduation, make sure to go on the UTSA website and look through all of the requirements. There are some stuff I know you can't carry your phone across the stage, so.
Really?
Well, I mean, they're going to want you can't leave it with somebody.
Well, I feel like you could just leave it on the well, anyways.
I don't know. Anyways, just read online. They have a bunch of rules.
And you should be able to pick up your cap and gown if you ordered it earlier tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And they also have cap decorating at the end of this week. I think you have to RSVP by Wednesday. You have to RSVP by Wednesday, but I think it's Friday and Saturday or...
And it'll have all the supplies will be supplied.
Yeah. So make sure you decorate it. We're going to see all of your beautiful...
I still don't know what I'm doing with mine.
I think I'm just going to give mine to my mom.
Oh,
and tell her to, she's just be like,
I like
here you
it.
go.
If you're ordering any stoles or cords, make sure to do that as soon as possible. What else? I think that's it.
Yep.
Have a great, wonderful winter break. Be safe out there wherever you're going, whether you're staying home or traveling.
Did you want to?
Yes. So a huge lastly, we would love to thank all the peer mentors that make this possible behind the scenes. So if you guys could come over here real quick. Behind the scenes with our webmaster and question master for this episode, but webmaster, we have Jonathan, who's
Yes, hold on.
and then our wonderful social media and Twitter, all the live tweets. That's going to be Tenny. And then she's not here with us today because she's conducting interviews. But Cynthia is usually our wonderful question master behind the scenes. We could not do what we do without them. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
And again,
thank
you all for tuning in, for watching, for being loyal subscribers.
Yes.
Remember to like, if this is your first video you're watching with us, remember to subscribe.
And comment.
Hi. It has really, truly been a pleasure for me these past 5 semesters to do this and to have the opportunity to do this. And Alexis, thank you so much for picking up where AJ left and filling her wonderfully large shoes. But yeah, from us,
thank you guys.
It's the last time.
Signing off.
Signing off. Definitely tune in. We'll have updates on our social media about next semester. Jonathan will be taking over for my position behind the scenes as far as like producing and conducting and hopefully hosting.
Hopefully.
He'll do everything.
We'll figure it.
But aside from that, we'll definitely have Mentor Mondays, but you won't see our wonderful faces anymore. So thank you so much. Again, I'm Diana.
I'm Alexis.
Have a good night.
Bye.